Okay, so the Black Knight, the top charging unit, doesn't charge anymore, but it's still badass. Obviously, I have badass emblems on him right now. That's why his power is so high, part of it. I have him 3-star woke. I left him like that for a long time, but I'm starting now to get the last few stars. But the 3-star is important here. You get the spell immunity either way after a kill. Everyone used to run this. When it heals you, restores some hit points. The other side's way better. I switched quite a while back, and it's a bunch of damage reduction, 80% after a kill. So you get so much lifesteal on them. The DR really helps because you'll heal back pretty quick, and your main concern with them is getting one shot or spells, which he gets a lot of spell immunity from that as well. I had that bottom one switched for DI to get the little dragons. For melee DI, he's the top scorer, and even with Sharpies, I'm a huge fan of Charger. I have this guy in almost all my teams. Almost 1,200 million, 1.2 billion in a single run of Dragon Invasion. He's in that team. I've got 5 billion on Steadwick defense. He was in that team, although it's kind of niche. I did the top 20 levels of EI with Mullock and him. He was in every team. I was thinking about making videos of all these actually, but he is the star. You can see here I invested quite a bit in maxing out his weapon, which breaks him, but it's still badass too. This first one is awesome. Defense reduction on everybody near him, AoE defense reduction, and 500 pen against targets with low morale, which he gives to them. If you're using Sandro, his ult gives it to everybody. Walking Dead can give it to, I think the Bone Dragon can give it, but he does it himself with his ult, so that's awesome. Although the dragon is immune to it, it doesn't work in DI. Damage reduction is always good, keep him alive. He's running around in the back, especially with this fucking targeting. Units damage, awesome, obviously. 3 stars is the teleport. This is really kind of the distinctive trait of his weapon. At the beginning of the battle, he stands there, like the devil, a little bit longer than the devil. I believe it's 6 seconds. Yeah, for 6 seconds. He's invulnerable where he starts and jumps to the last unit in his path. If it's a completely empty lane, he'll jump to the back, a random back row unit, like the devil, but unlike the devil, we'll get to that. But obviously, it completely changes the unit. A charger behind back lines would be awesome, except he doesn't act like a charger, but he hits hard as fuck still. He tears shit up. He gets extra crit against back lane because he's charger, crit hit and crit damage. He already has a shit ton of crit damage. I have the emblem stacked, max crit damage. And then he gets crit damage stacking buff every time his target dies. When he does a crit, he gets some stacking magic resistance, which is okay. Because he is a 9-man. A TT can fuck him up. And critical hit. Life drain, this is huge. Gets 20% life drain plus an extra 20 after he lands a crit, which is basically all the time because it lasts 5 seconds. He'll stay alive as long as he's not hitting something invulnerable or he's not crowd controlled, because he's healing up like crazy. Lich with an awakening gives him an extra 20% lifesteal. There's a mastery that gives all chargers lifesteal that I have on Mullock and Sandro, and I should hopefully have on Lord Hart and some others too. And then 6-star, he summons an extra Black Knight. Not a whole unit, just one. It gets crit hit and penetration, so you can end up stacking a lot of penetration on him. Plus, you get penetration from Craghack Adjutant, but also the 500 from his just awakening this weapon if they're in low morale. The Black Knights are actual Black Knights. They will target properly and prioritize back row units, but there's only one of them, and then every 20 seconds another one, and every kill another one. His burst damage is absolutely insane, so I'm just going to show. I spent a long time trying to clear this training ground, and I finally did it. I had footage, it was going to be part of a video a while back. I had been racing Iron Fist to do it, and I got it when support came out with Sharpies, and he was there. But in any case, now he can solo this entire thing in maybe a minute and a half. I don't know, I'll see how fast it goes. I'll speed it up. Because of the way this training ground works, the units have a shit ton of hit points and a shit ton of regen, so like bursting them one at a time is the way to do it, and this is your guy for that, especially with Hart. Minute 34, not quite a minute and a half, but he crank out the damage. And he gets that stacking buff for killing those guys. So, how many ways do you think we could find to exploit this guy's new mechanic? He's long been a staple of my DI team because with Lord Heart's Global, he does 30% DRR for 30 seconds. Now, even without Heart, a lot of people are using him for melee builds for DI and doing well. And that's primarily because he does a ton of damage with this weapon now, especially if he's in a group of melee buffs with Naga. But also, as you can see here, because of the teleport, I'm able to squeeze him into the first frenzy too. Just a little trick, doesn't earn you much, but he ends up doing 100 mil, I think. And this is against a level 31 dragon. I don't know that he'd be worth bringing without Heart Global for Sharpie group, maybe. Do bring him though, get that first frenzy on him because of the teleport, and if you running melee, don't forget to maybe wait for him to catch the frenzy until after he teleports. But yeah, he did 394 million total and 105 of it actual, so it's 105 million in points. And that's with him missing the majority of the buffs and my best emblems on both Sharpies. So in a melee group here that I ran as a trial about a month ago maybe, you can see he got 350 million in score. My melee's not as strong as my Sharpie group. I don't have 6-star Naga weapon, and it's probably not the best composition or lineup necessarily for melee. I just did it really quick. Someone wanted to see comparison of scores. And this isn't a DI video anyway, it's a Black Knight video, so. That same trick, I've used it in the past with the Devil in some of my videos. I love it. But to get in the Death Knight in the Frenzy can be used here too. Let's find somebody to just murder quick. Oh, actually, here's another trick. We'll get rid of Corrupted out of here since he wants to quit. The Devil, I'm not sure exactly when he jumps, but it's before the 6 seconds is up. And Black Knight is invulnerable for the first 6 seconds. I can tell his Devil's in the third lane there because it's unless he brought fucking the Stronghold Berserker, which I really doubt. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna start my Sharpies out in the back row. No, I don't want him to get jumped on by the Devil because the Devil is going to. By the time the Devil jumps, the Black Knight will be the one that's in the back row. I don't need that. Bring this. Went with live off the cuff audio for most of this. Right here, I started fingering the mic and saying how I use this in Eternal Inferno. In Eternal Inferno, I'll probably have him in the back, because then the Devil will jump into the stun range of the Wasp Horde, probably. But I want the auto to frenzy him. So, yeah, let's go ahead and murder Corrupted here. Hopefully. If I lose, it'll be embarrassing, but I guess I could just delete it or try again and never post this shit on YouTube. If you hear me saying this, that means that Corrupted's about to jump. Game audio, I had way too loud here for the fights, but he's about to jump on my Black Knight, and it'll be invulnerable only for the first hit, though. A tough Devil will totally still kill your Black Knights, and it also stops him from jumping over the front line, but he goes down once, and he revive, and then down again, and now he's playing Z-Round without a Devil, so good game on that. But it definitely is useful in Eternal Inferno. Sometimes, like I said, to get it, and it'll jump it into the Wasp Horde. Stun too, so let's see what I had to say. The Devil can still kill you. I mean, you're only invulnerable for the first hit. Oh, Fistic King to Venge. About a second. Avenge was going to be my hardest one to fight. You know, he's sitting back here, Fist, making me look bad. Shadowvis, get your shit up there. We'll go for Tweed for now. And Tweed's Devil's probably strong enough to not go down like that, but what I'm going to do with him is something a little different. Again, let's obviously see this Devil. He doesn't really have any back range units to jump to because of the BK's targeting. If I put the BK in any other range, it's not going to attack. It's not going to go to his Ifrit until everything else is fucking dead, including probably yours truly. So I'm just going to smash him right in the face. So moving those units around was loud as shit, but I'm saying I'm going to mana drain and just smash his Devil behind his backline. We'll boost for our kill. Oh, I shouldn't have put the Devil in front. Should still work, but with the BK in front, he's immune right out the gate. The Devil won't go immune. He'll probably jump and go immune. I did mess it up by swapping them around. You'll see here I'm looking like, where are they? Nope, they're not back here. Shit. Maybe that's not how I wanted to do that exactly. Alright. Slow ass fucking phone. This should work properly. I hope. The goal is we're just gonna bomb rush him and smash his devil behind enemy lines. He has his Judicator in his backups. I know him. He's a tree. He's my homeboy, and I didn't let him know to have his spot back, but he actually didn't have his Judy in his backups anymore. It was Gogs, which made me worried because of the targeting. But you see here, teleport in the back, kill his devil right away. And I mean, you saw in the first match, I lost. He whooped my ass, and now it's just the exact opposite, and he's getting rolled here. And I hear when the Gogs do come out in the backups, for a moment I was like, oh man, he's not going to turn around and kill him. Better not lose these freaking Gogs, but Devil will. Then I start talking about Judicator really is a pain in the ass for Black Knights or any Chargers or Devils or anything that the goal is to get in the back line and kill stuff really quick without dying, because that invulnerability really slows you down, sets you back. So I don't use Galu as much, but I have another counter for Judicator. For instance, against, what the fuck, the Astral. And I know I cut Slap, but that's his name, so. For him, now I don't have Judy, I don't have any commanders. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and just bring Mafala here. Don't want anything to stun or petrify or silence because that annoying ass Naga. So we'll get rid of the Earth Elemental and bring Dendroid. And Black Knight has to go to Giant first, or he'll never go to Giant because it's broke ass targeting. Explaining why I want to bring Lich. We'll bring her because I don't want the Naga to turn around and charge the back row after she. At that point, I'll probably be on the Judicator, so they will turn around and attack because my Wasp Horde will be so far back. But the Lich will be like a little in-between, go-between type of deal there. And we'll bring a Charger, we'll bring a Sprite to make sure we get the mana for that. For our own little jury-rigged Judicator counter. So this is going to put all three Chargers and the Devil on the Giant. And then put who is going to... Well, unless I have one shot him, that'll fuck me up. But it'll proc the invulnerable, and then we'll all be standing back there in his range of melt saw because his Naga's going to chop up the melee. You get the basic gist of it. You know, the shield's going to protect us while the Judy shield's up. Did something similar against Gems in a Rampart only KVK in that video a couple weeks ago. And then on more backup range, there's so many ways that this targeting issue can mess you up. The Angel SE, there's all the good Chargers, and the Black Knights charging the other fucking way. And this video is getting pretty long, but there's so many fun tricks you could do with him. Another one is if he is a backup troop, which is how most people are going to be using him, honestly, because not everyone is a pimp that rocks Moloch like me. He does not stand still for 6 seconds. When he comes as a backup, he jumps right away. But he does get his invulnerability still, so that's another kind of counter to Judy, is to have him in backups and have him attacking and invulnerable to start. Here I am doing it with Wasport in Eternal Inferno. And I did the top 20 levels with Moloch, I think I'll make a video, but with Wasport, it's a cool trick against the melee, against the Charger ones. And here Black Knight jumps in, invulnerable. It's also how I'm going to hopefully gank Shadowvis tonight at Arena, and I'll show that in a friendly duel here. He's got a mean-ass DM, and he brings Judy, so if I jump back there, you know, I'm going to hit the invulnerability. So I've got the Black Knight in my backups, and I'm using Genie and Mermaid here just to make sure I stay alive long enough to even proc the backups and see if we can't take him out here. As you can see, I'm way behind. I'm using Moloch so I don't get stunned, but Chargers don't. But yeah, it's not looking so good for me. Come on, backups. You can see here, my Black Knight should be going to kill that Lich. It looks like he is. The summoned Black Knights are. But that's not actually what's going on. He's up there killing everything else. Luckily, he's going to carry me. Look at how low I am. So it's just him left. This is a good example of that lifesteal saving I was talking about. You can't even really see my life, and I got to get through these summons to the Lich, but lifesteal up right off them. Not all 9 of them are alive, or they'd be completely full life basically instantly. So there it is. Hopefully that works tonight for the gank, and we are at 15 minutes, so I'm going to break this into 2 parts, which sometimes means I never do the second part, but hopefully not this time. I got a lot. I haven't even gone into how broken his targeting is, but just some examples using him in backups, some of the tricks, more to come. Thanks for watching this first part.